She's an architect. So this project, as you may know better than I do probably, most of you, this is the Armenian church and monastery. There are many buildings on this site. This building, which we call, and we coded all of the buildings. This building for us is building F, church is building A, Melikyan's mansion is, we call it building B. The kindergarten, where the photos are in front of, that's building C for us, D and E. So that's how we code them, you know, that's how technical people code them amongst themselves. The design, this project was amongst the recommendations of the Nicosia Master Plan team in 2005. Nicosia Master Plan team has worked with UNDP ACT and UNDP PFF, Partnership for the Future. Our office is funded by UNDP and USAID. The other UNDP office is funded by the EU, Partnership for the Future. When we, at the end of 2004 or 5, Nicosia Master Plan teams made an Özge, I think, did you work with Nicosia Master Plan?
Of course,
yes, you did. Yes. They made a recommendation to the international donors for the restoration of many monuments in the buffer zone and right outside of the buffer zone. So, and Armenian church and monastery was one of the recommendations. As a follow-up to the list was quite large, and our investment and time was limited. Our offices conducted an assessment of the recommendations based on their social value, requirement of the, urgency of the intervention, whatever, its proximity to the buffer zone. There was a complex process of assessment of the recommendations. And Armenian church and monastery ranked the highest. Just one second. Özge, bizim ekipten mi onlar?
Evet.
Ha, öyle mi? Okay, are they with us?
No. No.
Okay, I'm sorry. So, I mean, sorry, but there is no... Please do not wander off into the site. This is a construction site. So, where was I? Yes, so Armenian church and monastery ranked the highest. We went out, UNDP ACT, in consultation with the authorities and local stakeholders. We launched a tender process for the design of the project premises. I'm not going to say church only, because this is a big complex. It includes, the kindergartens, the school buildings, there is this valuable prelature building. So it's not only the church for us, we regard it in its entirety. And then an Italian group of consultants, they won the international tender. They came on board with 30, 40 engineers, architects, quantity surveyors, historians, with a very, very huge team. They came and stayed in Cyprus for a few months, actually, to do the geological surveys, soil surveys, buildings, photographing, everything. And then they proposed some design solutions, which we took back to the stakeholders and asked them what would be their opinion in terms of how we proceed from that point onwards. And then it was agreed to, this design option, the scheme option was agreed upon by the Armenians, by our donor, which funds the intervention, because all the options obviously have cost implications. And then we told the design team to detail that option further for implementation. And then with that, with those designs, UNDP again went out to tender, and we have our current contractor on site today, who are carrying out those designs to turn the dream into a reality today. So now you entered from the, I don't know who knows what, but you entered from the Victoria Street gate. Most of people most of people who have memories from the site, I would imagine, would remember this gate. From my childhood, this is the gate I remember, actually. And this is the building which was used, for those of you who don't know, This was the building who was used as the administrative prelature building. And when this site was actually being active and used by the Armenians, there were buildings between, for example, this building and the church, which collapsed throughout time. So people from old pictures, and we didn't dig, but if we were to dig, we could probably find foundations of previous buildings which used to exist between this building and the church. These two buildings, Sushunyan and Uzunyan schools, and the building ahead of us, that used to be a kindergarten. I've met many Armenians who have memories as kids who've attended that kindergarten, actually. And then these are, I think, correct. Please feel free to correct me, but first, second, third grade, and then fourth, fifth, sixth grade, these two schools. Is that correct?
Right. The first 4 classes were conducted in the Uzunyan, which is this building, and the rest on the Melikian.
So they were like, one of them was younger and the other one was for older children. That's what our design team's research revealed. And many people, again, have memories in those school buildings as little students or their brothers, sisters went to these schools. And then, shall we proceed a little bit further for those of you, especially who are in the sun? Please be careful. Sorry, these are all for leveling, so be careful. Yeah, be careful with the levelings, because all this area that you see now, you're walking on now, they will be paved and access will be made easier after the works are finished. That's why I tried to tell Simon it would have been good if we had finished the work so that you could have
We'll come again.
We'll come again.
Please do.
We'll come again, definitely. This was a classroom.
Yes.
This was a classroom.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
I've been here.
Okay, good. It's good to have people who have memories.
And in the beginning, there wasn't this, so we started there and finished there.
Okay.
This was built, I forget now when, Uzunyan built it later.
Okay. I think I think it dates back to 1950s, is that correct? 40s, I think.
End of 40, maybe.
Yes,
maybe.
end of 40s, I think, but please feel free to correct.
When
This,
it was
in the beginning,
this was the 1921 building. This was 1938, and the new kindergarten was built in 1950 from proceeds from various school events.
Where was the old kindergarten?
The old kindergarten used to be...
UNDP.
Let's continue.
Tamam.
Yes.
Let's continue.
Let's continue.
Let's continue.
Özge o adamcığım fotoğrafını çek. He remembers of the site. Take his photo.
The building, actually, the building behind it belongs
That's
to this.
Melihyan's mansion. It's part of, well, actually,
Part of the,
let's answer your question in front of everyone.
Rambetek.
Be careful, there are some ropes for leveling. Actually, so yeah,
Let's remind them the construction site rule.
Yes.
If you are pressed on any kind of nails, you will offer the coke to everybody. So be careful. Whoever
so,
kim ki şeye basar, çiviye basar, kol asparlar ona
but we
göre.
won't step on any nails. You'll follow me and you won't step on any nails. Yeah. So actually, this gentleman remembers there were classrooms and buildings here.
Definitely here.
And
the last 4, it was 9 classes.
okay, so
Right.
there are 4, 3, 7,
Yeah,
and then there must have been 2 more here
last
than
one,
9.
the
The
last
kindergarten
one was
used to be here, 2
Okay,
classes.
that building, which was
That's the new in
recent
1950.
new kindergarten, that's also built on some remains of another building which dates back to, I personally don't know
That
which
used to be
century.
the Shushanyan school,
Yes.
which was built in 1902.
Okay. There's the
Özge,
historian.
yes, Bayan